Hey guys, it's Anya, otherwise known as Pink Sweets here on YouTube. So today I'm going to be doing a 3 looks, 3 palettes with the Makeup Revolution So Tasty collection. So I did a poll on my Instagram and also like on my stories and in a post, and the avocado palette definitely won, but it was a close second with the pizza palette, and I wanted to do the chili palette. So I was like, you know, why don't I just do one look with each palette in the same video, and that way if people want to buy the palettes, they can make a decision on which ones they want by watching all 3 in one video. So that's what we're gonna do today. So let me get them out. So I got them yesterday, and I got all 3 of them. So I got the avocado palette, which is this one. They are all like soft touch matte, so like you know, they feel like that like rubber kind of on the top, but they're like plastic everywhere else. So this is the inside. I have these plastic inserts of the avocado palette, which we're gonna do today for the first look. And then if you guys just stay tuned, you'll see the other looks. The chili palette is this one right here. I think that's beautiful too. And the outside looks like this. Also soft touch matte, but they're not so raised that you can't store them easily. So, and then this is the pizza palette. So cute. And this is the inside of the pizza palette. And even though it's fairly neutral, I don't know, I really like the color story. So I can't wait to dive into these 2 for the next 2 looks. So I'll be doing avocado, pizza, and then chili. So if you want to see all 3 palettes, then you've come to the correct video. So yeah, so let's start with this avocado palette. Let me get out my, where's my little spongy sponge? Well, I'll use this one today. Okay, so I'm at the end of one of my, what do you call them? My eyeshadow base. Like I'm at the end of my, paint pot, but there's still enough in there that I'm like determined to get it out. So I just kind of scrape out some with my finger, and then I pack it on my eyelids with a sponge. I guess I'll just kind of slap it on. I've been doing swatching and stuff like that all morning, and I've got hair color on my fingers, so that's fun. So let me know down below if you've already picked up one of these palettes. And I will also try to link some videos down below of people that I know of that have already, that have also purchased these palettes and that have already done videos with them. Like I'll either put cards throughout this video, or I'll put them down in the description box below, because some of my friends have gotten them and done videos with them, so that you can see more than one, you know, video on each palette. Okay, so for this color story, I'm definitely going to stick with the greens. I think I'm going to start with lime, and then I'm going to go into guacamole right there. So let me grab a blending brush. Like my friend Nikki Raven, she did, she's done a few videos now with the avocado palette. And then Angie from 4F Beauty, she's done at least one, if not more. And I am going to be doing more videos with these palettes than just the one, this one. So I will be doing individual videos eventually with each palette, and some of them will be collabs, some of them will be, you know, just regular, just me by myself. But for the first impressions, I kind of wanted to just do all 3 palettes in one video, so that, like I said, you guys, if you were planning on purchasing one, you could kind of make up your mind right away if you wanted to get all 3 or if you wanted to get just one, Each palette is 10 euros. So I think it's right around $15 US. So that's the lime shade. Now I'm going into Guacamole, which is like a minty green. And you guys know green eyeshadow is my favorite, one of my favorites. Green, blue, and purple is my ideal. And I think I'm also going to do like a multi-palette bingo with these as well, so that I can use all three of them together. I have gotten so many food related palettes recently. I have the taco palette from Glamlight that I just recently got. I already own the pizza palette from Glamlight, so I'll be doing a ballot? No, I'm not gonna be singing. I'm gonna be doing a battle of the pizza palettes fairly soon, coming up. And then I'm also gonna be doing I'm just going back in with that lime shade. I'm also gonna be doing a few collabs, like I said. And then I'm gonna be doing, I also got an order from Bombshell Cosmetica. So I got the Strawberry Milkshake palette, the Candylicious palette. I have a bunch of food related palettes coming in and coming up. Okay, so in terms of green, there are two deepening, well, I guess technically three if you count this one here, but really you've got this matte and that matte in terms of greens. So I think I'm going to start with Avo, which is the mid-tone green, and I'm going to put that on the outer V. And then I'll deepen it up even further with the darkest shade, which is like, it's like a deep forest green. So it's almost black, but it's not quite. I like Makeup Revolution eyeshadows. I own the Carmi palette. I own the Revolution Tammy palette, the Tammy Tropical Carnival palette. And I do like Makeup Revolution eyeshadows, but I have received a few duds here and there. There's some, I think I got it was called like 1 million or something like that. And it was a palette that I got because they got 1 million people on Instagram or something. So it was, you got the palette for free with your order. And that palette, I didn't really like the color payoff. This is the color Haas, which is a brand of Avocado. But see how it almost looks black, but with the greens underneath, it looks like a dark forest green. And it is, even in the pan, it looks like a dark forest green, but it's so dark that it works kind of like a black eyeshadow, which I like because I like that I can deepen it up and make it look really smoky. Okay, now we're gonna do some shimmers. So let me get my glitter glue, which last time I put it in this time I did not. Let me go grab it and I'll be right back. Okay, it was right in front of me, but while I was off camera, I just went ahead and cleaned up the fallout, and I put on my Fresh and Fit Awake primer from Essence, and then I also put on my lip plumper. So now I'm gonna take the NYX Glitter Glue, which looks like this. In my opinion, it's just as good, if not better, than which one is it? The Too Faced one. So for my first impressions, I usually don't do a cut crease. I usually like to see how the shimmers, how pigmented they are, how they lay and everything. So I just use glitter glue kind of in the place where I would put a cut crease. And I think for the first shimmer, we're gonna need a flat shader brush. Okay. In the process, I just dropped another brush. For the, I almost said for the flat shader brush. For the shimmer, I'm going to use the shade Mousse, which is actually a brown. And then for the inner portion, I'm going to use smoothie right here. And I know that brown isn't green, but I kind of want to see how it works. So I'm just going to put that right on the outer portion. See, these are really pigmented. I don't own any of the chocolate bar palettes from them, but I really want to. I really want the red velvet and the sprinkle one. I want to see how they work, because if they're as pigmented as these, then I know I will love them. The reason I don't use my Too Faced ones as much is because I feel like they're all very neutral, and I feel like they're just not as pigmented. So I still have them because I collected them. Okay, now I'm going into the shade Smoothie, which is beautiful. Ooh, that is so pretty. I like that. And I feel like there are also these shimmers like Bite and Smash, which are more foiled shades, but I feel like on the hand they look almost the same. I feel like this one is a little bit lighter and this one is a little bit darker, but not enough that I think we needed both of them in the palette. So okay. For some reason on one eye it's not showing up quite as green. There we go. Maybe I just didn't pick up enough, but I definitely think they are pigmented. So let me go do my base off camera, and then I'll be right back and we'll finish up the eyes. Okay, so my base is done except for my highlighter, because I have a highlighter palette I want to show you guys. And I'm going to take Smash, which is that lighter of the two Release Sparkly shades that I showed you. And I'm just going to put that in the inner corner. And I left some powder under my eyes to catch any fallout. Okay, I like that. And then for the lower lash line, I think I'm going to take the shade Haas, which is the dark green. And I'm just going to put that underneath all the way across. So let me know if you guys ordered. I think a lot of people ordered the avocado one, and I have to say that was the one I was the most excited about when I saw them online. Angie was actually the one that showed them to me and was like, did you see this? And I was like, no, I did not, but thank you. And also thanks a lot, because it meant that I was ordering more stuff. But I'm still glad that she showed me, because I would have been upset. Sorry, I'm looking for something. I'm not finding it. Okay. So so I was happy, but I thought I was only going to get the avocado one. Then I ended up getting all three. And when I got them and I saw them in person, the chili one is the one that I was like, wow, I was not expecting to like this one as much. The pizza one is the most neutral. And of course the avocado one is mostly green, but has some, you know, some neutral shades, some browns and stuff like that in it as well, which I think accurately represents an avocado. But yeah, so I'm going to do Miami Fever from Ofra. I got this in a BoxyCharm as my lip color with this look. Oh, and I need to wipe away the powder from under my eyes so I don't look crazy. Okay. I really like that pop of brown, I have to say. And I think that this lip color will kind of play off of that nicely. Okay. I don't know. This lip color is very pumpkin-y, which I like and I don't like, but I'm going to spray my face. So, my friend Queenie, I will, Makeup Queenie 68, I will link her channel up in a card. She always uses the Naked Cosmetics highlighter palette. I know that's like blinding. And this is what it looks like. And they're all very like light shades, but you can tell in the pan what they flash to. And each one flashes to a different shade. So I'm going to use the green one. They don't have names, but every time I saw her use it, I was like, oh my gosh, I want that. And when I saw, a long time ago, Naked Cosmetics actually had an ivory set, which was pigments that were like this, and loose pigments, and then they decided to make like a pressed highlighter palette, but you can use it on your eyes. It is eye safe. So I knew that I had to get it. Excuse me. I think the pinks and the purples will be my favorite, but I wanted to use the green for this look. So spray my face one more time. So this is my finished look for the Avocado palette. And this is the So Tasty collection. So this is the Tasty Avocado palette, like I said. So let me know what you think of this look. Is this look something that you would create with this palette? And if you want to see the other two in action, then stay tuned. Okay guys, so for look number 2, we are using the Makeup Revolution or Revolution Makeup Pizza palette from, so it is the Tasty Pizza. And this is, it says I Heart Revolution on the back. So, and this is what the color story looks like. Pretty, neutral, but pretty. So we're gonna do a look with that palette today. So I'm gonna use my MAC, actually, no, I'm gonna use my color intensifying base from Essence today. So this is what it looks like. So I'll use this one today. And I did, you guys would have already seen the Avocado one. The eyeshadow lasted a really long time. It didn't crease and it lasted all day. So that is good. So I really do like most Makeup Revolution products. I like their foundation. I like their concealer. A couple of their highlighters have not been my favorite, but I also really like a blinding highlight, whereas some of their highlighters are really blinding and then other ones just aren't. So it just depends on what you like. But for the most part, all of their products are really good and an alternative to some high-end makeup. So, all right. So I'm gonna start with, what color do I want to start with? That brush. Okay. I think, I gotta figure out what kind of look I want to do because I really have no idea. Okay, I think I'm gonna take Mozzarella, which is the white shade. That one right there, and then I'm gonna take Primo, which is this like kind of mauve-y shade. And I'm gonna put Mozzarella on the brow bone. All right, so this is probably the least pigmented white shade I've ever used, and this brush is now clean, but it is just stained. But no matter how much I build up, it's not really showing up white. So I mean, it's good as a brow bone color, I guess, because it sets things, but it doesn't actually do anything in terms of like if you really want a white eyeshadow. Okay, so now let me go into Primo. I'm gonna take a smaller brush and I'm gonna go into that mauve-y shade. And I'm just gonna put that in the crease. That's a pretty shade. I mean, it's very light, but it's just kind of like a nudish pinky mauve shade. It reminds me of one of the shades from the Modern Renaissance palette. Again, it doesn't really pack a punch. I think this is probably going to be, just from what I've seen so far, probably going to be my least favorite palette, but I could be wrong. It could surprise me. Okay, I think next we're going to go into Pepperoni because we need a little bit of pigment somewhere. And, okay, that one's pretty pigmented. And I'm just going to put that on the outer V and a little bit into the crease. All right, that's definitely pigmented, which I'm glad about. But if that's the only, you know what I mean? I don't know. I feel like this palette has a lot of matte shades that just aren't, they're either really dark or really light. There aren't really a whole lot that are like in the middle. But we'll see. Finally, our weather is not 108 degrees, but now it's just been constantly storming. Okay, I'm gonna take Olive, which is this black, but it doesn't look like a straight up black. It almost looks like a blackened brown, which is interesting because most black olives are black, but I guess they're kind of brownish. I don't know. No, that's definitely not a black shade. I still kind of like it, but it's definitely a very deep brown. All right. Oh, that air conditioner. It's still hot out, don't get me wrong. It's just not 108 degrees. But it's been like in the 80s and 90s, which I'm alright with, I guess. I cannot wait for fall though. Who's with me? Fall and winter. And I know I lost a lot of people when I said winter. Because a lot of people are like, I'm good with fall, but not winter. But I love winter. I love snow. I love, I don't love driving in the snow, but I love watching the snow fall, and I love sitting inside and watching a movie while the snow is falling outside. Okay, so that's what we have so far. Now I'm going to grab my NYX Glitter Glue again. Or not again. First time for this look, but you guys know what I mean, because in my last look, if you watched it, you would have seen that I used it then too. And I'm just going to put that all over the rest because I really don't think that I'm going to use any more matte shades because I just don't think there are any mattes in this palette that I would put on the lid. Because in terms of matte shades, we have like this one, which is pretty much my skin tone. We have the white that I used. We have the mauve light pink over here that I used. We have a mustard yellow, and then two really dark browns. So, not my favorite. I'm going to use the shade Marinara, which is not a pressed glitter. It looks kind of like a pressed glitter, but it's not. It's just a really foiled shade. And I'm going to use that. That does not want to be picked up with a brush. Let's see how much I got. Alright, we got a little. We got a little. Let me take my finger for that one. Like I said, it's not a pressed glitter, but it is difficult to pick it up with a brush. And I'm not a fan of using my finger for eyeshadows. So, but look at how beautiful it looks when you do use your finger. That's pretty. So my guess is that's how it's going to be with all of the really foiled ones, but we'll test a foiled one in another. And then I'm going to use the shade Slice, which is the same type of shade. It is this one right here, but it's like a golden one. I've already swatched it. So let me see if I can pick that one up on my brush. Or if it's like the other one. Nope, it's like the other one. Alright. So all the shades that I'm going to be using that are metallic are going to be with your fingers, because the three that I really want to use are the three really foiled ones. So they look really pretty when you put them on with your finger, but again, you cannot pick them up with your brush. They're just really thick and chunky. Okay, that's pretty. And then for the inner corner, I want to use, okay, this one I might be able to pick up with a brush. Let me try a different kind of flat shader brush. I'm going to use Neapolitan. Yeah, that one I could pick up with my brush. That's this silver right here. I love putting silver and like yellows or yellowy golds next to each other. I just think it looks really pretty. Yeah, that's pretty. This is not the kind of look I would expect to get from a pizza palette though. It's very different than my other pizza palette, which I'm glad they're not exactly the same, I guess. But okay, let me do my base and I'll be right back. We'll finish up the eyes. Okay, so we are back. So I'm gonna take probably, yeah, I'm just gonna take Neapolitan, which is that same silver shade, and I'm gonna pop that in the inner corner. That's pretty. I like the shimmers in this palette. I think they pack a nice punch. I just don't think that you have the best selection for mattes, but if you like the aesthetic of the palette, you know, I'm sure you have mattes in your collection that you can add to it. So if you're the kind of person that just kind of wants all of them anyway, I would do it. Just because, like I said, you can draw in other palettes to do mattes. Now, I say that, but I'm the type of person that I don't do a whole lot of, you know, using multiple palettes. So it just, I guess it just depends on what you do. I just took Pepperoni and put it underneath, and then I'm going to take Stone Baked, which is the other dark brown shade, and I'm just going to put that halfway across. Also, I mentioned this before in another video, but I'm a part of a makeup group on Facebook that my friend Michelle runs, and I will link it below. And we just all support each other, and I'm not saying like support each other in terms of like our channels, because most of us don't have channels in there, but support each other as in, like, you know, look at each other's, like, we post our looks, and, you know, we talk to each other, and, you know, share makeup tips and stuff like that. That's what I mean by support. And in the group, a lot of people like to go live in there and do live streams on Facebook, and a few of you guys have joined. So if anybody wants to join, I'm in there almost every day, and eventually I would like to do a live stream on there myself. So if you guys join, then you can see me do a live stream on Facebook. Okay, and then I need a highlighter brush. Why do I always lose my highlighter brush? Okay, I'm gonna go back into the Naked Cosmetics, and I think I'm gonna take this light shade here. gosh. I accidentally dipped my finger into the mustard shade and now I cannot get it off. That's pretty. I'm so glad I got this highlighter palette because it wasn't a BoxyCharm, I believe, but I didn't have BoxyCharm at the time, so I didn't get it. And then I kept seeing it online, didn't order it. And then when I saw my friend Queenie, like I said, when I saw her use it, I was like, oh, Queenie, what are you doing to me? I need it. Okay, so this is the finished makeup look for the eyes with this palette. And see, I should have used the lip color that I used yesterday for the avocado look is what I should have used for this look. So I'm going to use that again. This is Miami Fever from Ofra because I think that this goes perfectly with that pepperoni shade. And I think it is a really nice fall look. I'm so excited because this means now next we get to use the chili palette, which is the one I'm the most excited about. So, and I'll use a different lip color for that, I promise. But this is the final look for the pepperoni pizza palette. This is definitely, out of the two that I've used so far, my least favorite. It's probably going to stay my least favorite just because I don't like picking up shades with my fingers and I don't love completely neutral palettes. But even in terms of reviewing it as a neutral palette, I think that it doesn't have enough neutral mattes that you can use that are light enough. So if that makes sense. But if you are a completionist, you can definitely pull in shades from other palettes and just use the beautiful shimmers in this one. So if you guys want to see the look with the chili palette, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I'm extra glowy today. I put on a little bit too much of my Essence fish, and I hope this is not a fish primer. Fresh and Fit Awake Primer from Essence, not fish. But I put on a little bit too much and my face, I don't know, I think it looks pretty nice, but either way it feels a little too sticky. But today we are doing a look with the chili palette from Makeup Revolution. You guys have already seen the I almost said the aqua, the avocado, and the pizza palette. So this is the color story of the chili palette. I'm the most excited about this one. I don't know why. I know I love green eyeshadow, but for some reason this color story just, I love it. So I'm excited. So I'm going to use my MAC paint stick today. Actually, I don't know. I'm so torn. I love my MAC paint stick still, but I also really love my Essence Awake primer, and I've been liking both of them equally. If that, I know. I never thought I would find anything. I also really like the Maybelline Cover Stick in white. Like, those three are real contenders for each other. Like, those two, the other two that I mentioned, are competing against my MAC paint stick, which I've used for the longest time. Never thought I would find anything even remotely close to being as good, but I don't know. I've been enjoying switching it up lately. And not to mention that for some reason one of my MAC paint sticks melted and the other one is like at its end. So I gotta figure out, I gotta kind of smooth over the one that's melted. Anyhow, you guys don't care, you're here for the palette. So I'm gonna go into Cheeky, which is this shade right here. And then I'm gonna go into Red Hot, which is right here. So this, like I said, is the one I'm the most excited about. Probably because it's like pinks, purples, reds, oranges. And I just love that color story. Okay, that color is nice and pigmented, so I like that. And we're gonna look crazy as usual before we look good. Let me know down below at the end of this video which one you guys liked the most, and if you plan on picking up any of them. I would be curious. Most people that I have seen on YouTube picked up the avocado one, but not the other two. And for me, I wanted to try all three, even though 2 out of the 3 were kind of neutral. But I don't know, I just thought they were all so cute. And I also own the taco and the pizza palette from Glamlight, so I was like, why not get 3 more food related palettes. Okay, so I'm gonna go into capsicum. This one, anyone know what that is? I guess it's a type of chili pepper, but okay, first I know I said I was going into that red hot shade, but I'm just gonna take this one and put it above that purple onto my brow bone. The downside of this palette is the shade I'm using right now, which is like a very light pink, but still not very, very light. That is the lightest shade in this palette. So I don't feel like, if you're the type of person that does use a brow bone highlight, this is your only option, which I don't think is a good thing. But again, if you're a completionist, you can always draw in from other palettes. So far, I will say the avocado palette seems to be the only one that had everything I needed for one look in the palette. All right, now we're going into red hot. And I think I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna go in the inner and the outer corner. I wanna do a halo eye today. I don't know why I'm doing that to myself with the red and purples, because you guys know those tend to irritate my eyes, but we'll see if Makeup Revolution's formula irritates my eyes. They never have in the past. Like the Carnival palette didn't irritate my eyes, and the Carmi palette didn't irritate my eyes. Speaking of the Carnival palette, I ordered the new Carnival XL palette from Be Perfect. The original one won the #1 slot of my favorite palette of 2018. So I'm going to do a few looks coming up with the first one that was released before I get the second one. The second one is going to ship the day after you guys see this video. So I'm really excited to get it. Okay, let's clean up this. Oops, sorry if I knocked you around. I'm really excited to get it. I hope it doesn't take a long time to ship. I don't think it will, but it has, the only thing I didn't, I guess, realize was that, which if I had read, but when the pre-order came out, I never take time to read anything when I'm pre-ordering something, or when something is like launching and it's limited edition and I'm like scrambling to get it. So I never tend to like pay attention to details. Like with the Such a Gem palette, I didn't realize that the middle row was like the Super Shock formula from ColourPop. If I would have read it, I would have realized it. I'm just taking my glitter glue and putting it in the center. But with this palette, I didn't realize that some of the shades are the same as in the original one, and then a lot of the shades are new. Which the shades that are the same are shades that I love, and the new ones are really cool. So they're the shades that I felt were missing from the first one. So, but I don't think it's necessary to own both palettes then at this point. So I don't know. All right, now I'm gonna take, what am I gonna do in the middle? I don't even know. Okay, I'm going to take Triple Extra Hot, which is this burgundy shade, and I'm going to put it on the outer corners. And then I'm going to take Scoville, which is this one, and I'll put it in the very center. I want to use at least 4 or 5 shades per palette, if I can, just to give you guys kind of a good idea of what the palette looks like. So I'm just putting that there. That's a pretty shade. That would be a pretty shade to use for like the outer V as well. But this will just add a little bit of depth. All right, and then we're gonna take Scoville, which I'm gonna take it with my finger. I don't have to, but I'm going to just because I really want it to be very boom. See, like that. Now that is gorgeous. It's like an orange yellow, but it has like a pink duochrome shift to it. I really like that one. I knew this was going to be my favorite, which surprised me as much as I'm sure it surprises you, because I expected myself to love the green one the most, like I said, but there's also a really beautiful shimmery red in this shade, in this palette, not the, in this shade, in this palette, called Fire. I'll swatch it for you. It's like a really pretty, look at that. Very pretty. I could have used that as well, but I didn't. But I like that look. Let me go do my base off camera and I will be right back. Okay, so we are back. So for most of the video, I've been using the same products. I've been using the Butter Bronzer in the most unique shade name, Bronzer, from his Physicians Formula, if I could even say that word. I've been using the Pac-Man Blush Palette, and I've been using the Naked Cosmetics Highlighter Palette. And then I've been using my Lash Princess Mascara from Essence. And for foundation, I've been using the Makeup Revolution Stick Foundation and the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealer. So that is what is on my face. Oh, and the Jeffree Star Setting Powder, which I own this. I own it in the shade Fair and Translucent, but the translucent one is practically white. So I've decided that I'm going to take that one and I'm going to mix in. Oh no, I just got mascara because I blinked on my bottom. Well, we still have to put eyeshadow there, so hopefully that'll get rid of it. I've decided I'm going to mix the, what is it called? The Jeffree Star Translucent Powder in with some, I don't know, I haven't decided which one, but some other powder that has color to it, because it's way too white when I put it on. And I'm really pale, so the fact that I'm saying it's pretty white is pretty crazy. So, but when I put it on, I just always feel like my face looks really, really white compared to the rest of me. So I'm just taking the original shade Cheeky, which is the pinkish purple shade, which is crazy to me because there was a lipstick called Cheeky from MAC that came out in the same shade. So is this shade associated with Cheeky? And then I'm taking a little bit of the red just on the outer. And then I'm going to take the shade that I used for my halo, which is the shade Scoville. And I'm just coating this pencil brush with it, and I'm going to do that in the inner corner. What's funny is I have my Cover FX bronze and highlight palette over here, and I can like the contour kit palette thing that we got in our BoxyCharm, because I was going to use that and I totally forgot. Yes, I think that looks really cute. Okay, now let me wipe away my powder. And please, if you've made it this far, oh no, I just brushed some hair into my eye. Oh, crap. Okay. It's gotten stuck, there we go, to my mascara. If you made it this far, please let me know down below. Do you like it when I get a collection of palettes that I do one look per palette in one video? Or do you want separate videos on the collection? For instance, I have the Kaleidos Cosmetics Futurism collection, and I was thinking about doing it the same way I did this, where I just do one look per palette, because I feel like when you're trying to make a decision to buy something and it comes with more than one, if you see them all in one video instead of having to wait like 3 days or a week or whatever between videos, I think that that's, for me, I think that that's helpful. But I want to know what you guys think. So let me know down below what you would rather I do, so that I know what to do with the Kaleidos collection. Although I may film that one, I'm not sure. But either way, I'm sure in the future I'll buy collections. But that's kind of how I've been doing it so far, is like with the Jeffree Star Jawbreaker collection, I did one video and I did one look per palette just for first impressions. And then I will do, you know, other videos with the palettes in the future. This is the red lip gloss from the Wet n Wild Pac-Man collection. I think it's my favorite one. This one right here. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. How you guys would like me to do videos in the future when it comes to multiple palettes being in a collection. But this is my final look. I always get foundation in my hairline, but this is my final look with the Chili palette from Makeup Revolution. I have to say that I think that, let's try that again. I think this one is my favorite. The Avocado is my second favorite. Pizza, honestly, I could have skipped. But I am a completionist, so I ordered all three. I like the quality of all three of them equally, but the color story for me is just a miss with the pizza one. So this is, like I said, one look per palette. Let me know what you guys think down below. I love you guys so, so much, and comment below what your favorite was with an emoji. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.